Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. So guys, we've just had Katie Taylor v. Amanda Serrano. Katie Taylor getting, I believe it was a split decision. I don't know really what to make of it, to be honest, because personally, obviously it's late here in the UK. I thought Serrano won the fight. I thought she won the fight. You know, I thought she was the aggressor all fight. She had Taylor buzzed many times in the fight. And I had Serrano winning that fight. But I feel like with Taylor, it's difficult to get a decision. I don't think you can get a decision over her. You know, I thought she lost to Pursoon. And I personally thought she lost both fights. And I thought she lost this one as well. And listen, the margin is 2-minute round. So it's not clear distinctively. But there was times in that fight where Serrano was really dominating and she had Taylor on wobbly legs and looked like Taylor was gone. Now, Taylor's tough. You have to give her credit. She is very tough, and she many times she looks hurt in a fight and she regathers herself and comes back. But there's many fights now that I've seen that it seems to me that the judges just look to give her the rounds. I don't see how she won that fight. Like, she won probably the first round. Then after that, Serrano started, like, in my opinion, she was on top for majority of the fight. You know, Taylor was quite, you know, doing the same thing over and over again. You know, hook, a couple of combinations, no uppercuts, nothing that, like, there's no versatility in Taylor's work. Whereas Serrano was a patient stalker. She was stalking her patiently, and she was landing the telling blows, and she was the aggressor. Taylor was fighting on the back foot. She was landing shots, but it was wild. It was out like frustration, you know, not even frustration. It was like panic, you know, because she was hurt in the fight. But she managed to regather towards the back end of the fight. And she won a couple rounds, probably 2 rounds towards the back end. But I don't know. I don't see how you could make a case for her winning tops 4 rounds. And that's being generous, you know. But I would say it was more like 3, you know. And yeah, I thought, yeah, the split decision, the 97-93 scorecard was a disgrace of a scorecard. That was an embarrassment. And when you get scorecards like that, you just, like I said, it wasn't close for me where I thought Taylor deserved to win. It was close in the sense that it was close where a close fight, but one that Serrano won. You know, and it's just disappointing because these type of decisions are no good for boxing, in my opinion. I got respect for Taylor. She's done great things for female boxing, but you know, the Pursoon fight, the first one, she won that fight clearly. The second fight was a little closer, you know, but the first fight, like, Pursoon won that clearly, and she didn't get the decision. But it's kind of like, I knew before, you know, I was having a group discussion with the lads before, and I said, before the decision even got announced, I said, Taylor's won this fight because Serrano's not going to get the decision. Like, the fact that I knew that is not a good omen for boxing, in my opinion. Like, Taylor's a good fighter, but, you know, she seems to get all the decisions even when they're close. Even remember the Natasha Jonas fight, you know, that was a close fight, but again, she seems to get all the decisions. I don't think, like, there's a couple of fights, the Pursoon fight and this one, I definitely had a losing. I think most people had a losing. But, you know, she got the decision, and I just don't, look, they're talking about a rematch. I don't see how Serrano wins the rematch because it's going to be a similar type of fight and Taylor's going to get the decision again. I just don't think Taylor will ever lose. I think she'd have to be knocked out cold for her to lose. And she's pretty tough. She's a pretty tough fighter. You know, she's got a good chin. You know, she clearly was really badly hurt in the fight, and she was badly hurt against Pursoon, and she comes back. So she's obviously got great stamina, great durability, and a great chin, you know. But the fact is that she didn't really, in my opinion, people may see it differently, I don't think she deserved to win that fight. You know, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Disappointing because I don't think she deserved to win it. You know, the fight was, Taylor boxed well, But the thing is with Taylor, you can easily drag her into a brawl. And once she gets started dragged into a brawl, her work becomes reckless because she's a combination puncher, right? She's a combination puncher. As soon as you get close and start making it a dogfight, her work starts look really reckless and look ragged. And Serrano was very patient, coming forward, whereas Taylor looked more reckless. There was no versatility in it. Serrano was stalking her the whole fight. Taylor's obviously she's fast, so she throws punches in bunches. So it looks like she's landing a lot, but a lot of her punches missed. There was a stat that Katie Taylor only lands 37.5% of her shots, where Serrano lands the most of any female fighter of 67.5%, which is a ridiculous amount of punches that she lands. But this is what I mean. Taylor throws a lot of punches that miss because she's throwing punches in bunches, flurries. And sometimes I think the judges get swayed by that. You know, like I said, I think these two fights I clearly had her losing. The Pursoon first one and this one. She clearly lost those fights and she got the decisions in it for me. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know I'd love to know what your guys' scorecards were. But, yeah, for me, they were poor decisions. And then the worst thing is, it's like, fair enough if they gave it or it was a draw. I think Jake Paul was right. At max, it was a draw. At max, you could see, like, and I don't even see how it could have been a draw, but at max, you give it, like, if it was a draw, fair enough, they can do a rematch, but they've given the fight to Taylor. You know, and the rematch, again, like, what's going to be different? It's going to be a similar type fight, because Taylor's too good to be totally outclassed, like, where she's going to get beat up, and it's 2-minute rounds, and that's another thing. The 2-minute rounds, it's like, it's hard to judge 2 minutes. Over 3 minutes, it's a lot easier. I don't really like the 2 minutes round. I don't really think the fighters get an opportunity to show their qualities, you know. I think the 2-minute rounds also favor the more amateur style fighting, which Taylor is. Taylor's got that amateur style. You know, it favors her more. But even then, I still think she lost to Pursoon and Serrano. So personally, I think a rematch would go the same. You know, I think Serrano would have to stop her. You know, now Serrano did let off the gas towards the back end of the fight, which probably allowed Taylor to get back in it. But I don't think it would have mattered because one judge had it 97-93. So even if Serrano didn't, the scorecard was so wide. It was such a wide scorecard. It was such a wide scorecard. You know, it's just wrong. You know, these type of decisions in boxing, like, it's just wrong. I don't see how Taylor deserved to win that. Again, I'll have to watch it back. Now that I watched it first time, I might have to go watch it, because sometimes when you watch it for a second time with just watch it, you know, a replay, you know, a highlight reel, or not even highlight reel, but the full replay of the fight. You know, you're not watching it with that emotion. So you're just going back and watching it and watching it to score it. So maybe I might see it differently. But from what I saw first time, what I saw where I saw it live, watching it live, it just looked like to me that Serrano deserved to win that fight. You know, I'm going to watch it again and give my thoughts, probably watch it later on today, and then give my thoughts later on. Probably do a live or something, and we'll chop it up. But yeah, I thought Serrano deserved to win that. Disappointing if I'm honest with you, because I just feel like when, you know, two fighters put it on the line, I think the right fighter should get the nod, not the more politically connected fighter. It seems to me in boxing, the more politically connected fighters always seem to get the decisions. And when the fight's close, it generally goes in the favor of the fighter that's more connected, which I don't particularly like, to be honest. Like I said, I think the Pursoon first fight that Taylor had was definitely a loss. Definitely. I think everyone unanimously had a lose in that one. But she got that one as well. You know, so like I said, what do you have to do to beat her? What do you have to do? You probably have to knock her out. Because with these 2-minute rounds, firstly, that favors her anyway because she throws flurry of punches. So her output is high. Even if she's not landing, right? The judges could be swayed by her combination punching. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Personally, I had Serrano winning. I'd love to know what you guys had it. Taylor boxed well for the first 1 or 2 rounds. First round, she definitely won it. But then after that, Serrano was stalking and landing a lot of clean shots. And Taylor was kind of fighting in panic, really, for me, because Serrano was making it a dogfight. Problem is with Taylor, I feel she struggles to keep it disciplined. She can't box. She can't box disciplined throughout the whole fight, especially when somebody's putting it on her. She just can't control herself. She likes to get into a brawl. And once she gets into a brawl, it's the other person's fight. And the other person starts not just beating her, but beating her up. There was times in that fight that Serrano was beating up Taylor. Taylor never took control of that fight the way Serrano took control of that fight. Serrano at times was beating her up. Taylor looked like she was gone. It looked like it was about to be a stoppage. And that's why I gave Taylor credit for coming back from that. But the fact of the matter is that I think Serrano did a lot of damage in those rounds. Like I said, about 4 or 5 rounds, up to about 3 till about 7, 8 rounds, it was probably a shutout for Serrano. So how, and even the rounds that Taylor won, they were nip and tuck. They weren't like clear win, whereas the ones that Serrano won were clear because she had Taylor all over the place in some of those rounds. Like Taylor was wobbling and all over the place. And Serrano's the smaller fighter coming up. She didn't look like the smaller fighter and she didn't fight like the smaller fighter. She was the one that was stalking Taylor and she looked like the bigger fighter. And this is when people were saying before the fight that Taylor's the bigger fighter. And I said, bigger in what sense? She don't look bigger to me, Just because she's been fighting at a higher weight class, she definitely didn't look better. She didn't fight like the bigger person. She was on the back foot for majority of the fight. And she was the one that was wobbled and hurt in the fight, not Serrano. And Serrano's tough because Serrano took some shots and she didn't ever wobble. She didn't get hurt. So you have to give her a lot of credit. But yeah, I thought the wrong female got the decision. Just like I thought Passoon got the wrong decision, or when Passoon fought Taylor, Taylor, got the win. I thought that was the wrong decision. But so we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I like to see a rematch. Most importantly, it was a great fight. It was a great fight. Both of them made it a great fight. It was a proper fight, proper great fight, and good advert because the fight was hyped a lot and it was given a lot of attention. And to be honest, it lived up to the hype. It's just that the scorecard for me, I didn't agree with. To be brutally honest with you, I didn't agree with the scorecard. But, it is what it is. I'd like to see another fight. I'd like to see a rematch. I would like to see a rematch. I would like to see them run it back and see what happens in a rematch. Because, let's be honest, and I also like to see 3-minute rounds. I don't know whether Taylor would want the 3-minute rounds because that would significantly favor Serrano. Because I think Taylor is the more amateur fighter. Serrano's more pro. And I think the 3-minute rounds would favor her massively. So I'm not sure Katie Taylor's going to want that. But we'll have to wait and see because they were saying on air that, maybe these girls can have 3-minute rounds. But I don't see that, to be honest. I don't see it being 3-minute rounds because, like I said, I think that would significantly favor Serrano. Because I think Taylor with her spurts would fatigue more. And Serrano's a more patient, stalking fighter. She doesn't throw punches in spurts, but when she throws with bad intentions, and she generally lands. So I think that would favor her massively. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Hopefully Eddie and Jake Paul can make the rematch because it was a great fight. It was a good fight at the end. I just thought the wrong person got the decision. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. I'm about to start watching the Shakur and Valdez fight and I'll give you my take on that. But leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know who you thought won the fight. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.